dun, 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 dun. Hey, TV. Dun, 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 dun. Hey, TV.
Hey friends, it's Valencia Joy. I wanted to share a quick story with you guys that's kind of been on my heart. I feel like God is leading me to share it. So here goes. So my oldest son asked me back in February, could he ride his bike to school, to which I said no. We live in Ohio and February is winter, okay? Winter. So I said no. And he gave me defense after defense about why he should be able to ride his bike. There's no snow. I said, I know there's no snow, but still, no. And he says, but it's warm. And I told him, no, it's warmer, but it's not warm. February warm is different than May warm. It was not May warm. It's cold. It's going to be cold when you're on that bike. But Mom, everybody else does it. You know what I said to that one. And he just kept going. So finally, I relented, and I told him, okay, you can ride your bike. So that next morning, I let him ride his bike, and his brother, by default, rode his. And about halfway there, he texts me and says that the bike got a flat tire. And I was texting him back, like, are you okay? Where are you? Because in my mind, at the time, I was thinking, I'll just, mommy to the rescue. I'll go get him, pop the bike in my trunk, and take him on to school. But he was so close to school that he ended up walking the bike the rest of the way to school. So I told him, because his younger brother had an after-school activity, to ride his younger brother's bike home, and we would go up to the school later and pick up his bike. So at about 3 o'clock, he gets home, and then he texts me that he, in all of his haste that morning to get out the house and get the bike, yada, 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 he forgot his key, and he could not get into the house. And I knew that I would not be home for another hour. So I told him he's going to have to hang out, around the house, outside, on the porch, whatever, until I get home. Because I wasn't going to leave my job an hour early to let him in because it's warm, remember? So by the time I got home, he was kind of stretched out on our porch, which is concrete, trying to make a little pillow out of his jacket. He was cold. He was hungry. He had to use the bathroom. And when I got out of the car, the ranting just began, like, oh my goodness, this is the worst day ever. Blah, 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 blah. The stupid tire got a flat, and I'm cold, and I'm this, and I'm that. He just went on and on and on. And I let him vent. And when he was done, in the middle of his vent, he says, why didn't you tell me? Why didn't you tell me that it was going to be like this? So when he was done, I said, do you think next time you're going to listen to your mother? And he, oh my goodness, this is a lesson? You're teaching me a lesson when I'm hungry and I'm cold and I'm hurting and my hands, he said, my hands were like ice when I got to school. I had to go to the nurse's office. I took a nap. I didn't feel good, yada, yada, yada. You're teaching me a lesson? So I let him go on again. And when he stopped, I asked a second time, do you think next time you're going to listen to your mother? And he thought about it. And he had to apologize for his attitude because none of this was my fault. And he ended up having to confess that, yes, next time I will listen to my mother. And I thought, this is how my relationship with God goes. I shared with a sister girlfriend that I have learned so much about God through my parenting my two children. Because each new age that they get to, each new stage that they get to requires a different stage of parenting to me. And it always reveals a deeper understanding of God's grace to me, God's love to me, and the way God handles me when I'm out of pocket. Because there are plenty of times when I say, God, can I do this? I want to do this. I want to do this. And even though I know he's saying no, Not right now. This is not the right time. Because right now it's February cold. When we get to May, warm, you can do it. But right now, no. But because I want it so bad, I keep pushing, and I stopping to hear him, and I go do what I want to do. And I end up with extra baggage because now I got to lug the bike when I could have had a ride or I could have been on the bus. That's extra work. And I'm cold and I'm hungry and I have to use the bathroom and I have to go to the nurse's office and I feel sick and I feel aggravated. And in my prayer, I'm like, God, how could you let this happen? How could you let this happen? You're God. You knew. How could you let this happen? Why aren't you quicker to rescue me from this? And it's because I need to learn the lesson that I should have listened to my Father in the first place. Because he knows way more than I do. He sees way more than I can see. And he knows what's best for me. So even in dealing with my son in that moment, I was compelled to show him grace. Even though I knew he was taking his frustration out on me. I was compelled to show him grace because my Father shows me grace so many times when I'm in the exact situation that my son was in. But at the same time, like my son, I have to learn to listen and to obey and to realize that no answer, that not right now answer means that in a little while I'll be able to do it. He's going to open the door for me to do it, whatever it is, and it'll be good for me. Because it's not that what I'm asking for is bad. Him riding his bike is not a bad thing. It's a good thing. It's exercise. But him riding his bike in Ohio in February is not a good idea. But when God opens the door for me to do what I'm asking for him to do, it will be at the right time. It will be with the right people. And it will be the right things. And the right things will happen for me and to me. Is that making sense? So I wanted to share it because it's been on my heart. And as I watch, like I said, watch my children grow and mature and learn, I see myself in certain stages, in certain situations with God. So my advice to you is to listen to your Father because he knows. Hey VTV, where the conversation never ends.